Mera. Has been a poet since she was in elementary school. She first felt the buzz when her teacher had her submit a poem to children's poetry anthology book. Since then, she has written countless poems, songs, honing her craft in creative writing courses at Binghamton University, in which she received a Creative Arts Award on her poetry project after a theater trip to China. Also an actress with a degree in theater, she enjoys the performing aspect of being a poet and has performed at various open mics in the DC area, including Art Between Us and Crescent Moon Nights. Shout out Tahir. She has also published her poems via the online magazine The Tempest, and she's currently compiling a book of poems to be published. Inshallah.
Wow, that was... Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How are you? That was quite the intro. I was surprised. I thought there was someone before me, so that's why I was like, what? My first piece that I'm going to be reading is called My Ummah. I thought it would be the perfect piece to start off with because I feel like sometimes we love to blame others and outside forces for things when they're actually problems with our own communities and things we need to look at and things we need to fix in order to make our ummah better. And I'm not going to go into any detail, but I know there's some recent online Instagram bloggers that have taken off their hijabs and people are distraught about it and gossiping about it. And I want you to keep that in mind when you're listening to this poem and see what you can take from it and come out of it with some mercy. So it's called My Ummah. Believers, black, white, red, yellow, brown, from every nation, tribe, village, city, or town, sit down, let's talk. I've got a lump in my throat and an ache in my soul. You nod, shoulders slump and feel the gentle pull of mercy. See, it's there. We care. You wear this, I don't. He goes here and does that, we don't, you say. So, let's put it aside. Others want us to be in a divide, trying to rot us from the inside and make us collide. Don't you agree? It's been too long since a joint response to Roland's song. And by response, I mean in the greatest dignity and respect, full of the finest intellect. That's all we're trying to be. Don't you agree? Labels and names within our community get jumbled and used. Oh, don't we all feel the abuse? Around us, clapping and cheering the fight on, the one and only shaitan. So focus up and up and up and keep it light from left to right. Because when the wolves come, it'll be your mu'min neighbor who will ease you of your fright. We can't ignore the crisis, the starving in our veins. Like one body, one part hurts, and right now we're all in pain. A headache that starts from knowing nothing, leaving an empty, withered mind. A soul that's warm but has already burned out from feeding too much fire. The limbs that have fought with weak reasons, others with vengeance and regret. A mouth that has no voice to once again make its lips alive and wet. Legs that struggle to take their stand against the present powers controlling, and a heart that pounds with eagerness, carrying burdens and stories unfolding. Feet that have no direction, blindly stumble and fumble for a reputation. If you set them free, they'd flee and jump to astounding calculations. Already have. But we've forgotten ourselves, given up and dispersed. We either lay amidst drone strikes bleeding or in coffee houses eating. Oh, we need more than just a nurse to help with our wars, our finger pointing, our gossip gibbering tongues, our ignorant and negative energy on the younger generations. What refreshing breath would the revelations bring if we let them into our lungs? A new understanding of mercy to all and remove focus on the small so-called innovations. He has balanced the book for our hearts so we wouldn't go astray. Don't let us fall into the fire or into denial. There are multifaceted sides, this body of mine, my one ummah, one God, many names, many ways. Okay, so this next one is called Ban Me Instead, and it's from my own personal perspective as a white Muslim with the recent administration's Muslim ban. Ban me instead. My ancestors sailed here with racism under their white skin. They made those with red skin their red carpets for their grand entrance. Ban me instead. My family went through Ellis Island and got a doctor to hastily okay us to the island of Manhattan, which is a native name to say the least. But now the white man owns that piece. Ban me instead. I have blood pumping with controversy, British, German, Irish, Dutch. Which of those cultures would you say never terrorized much? Ban me instead of my brothers and sisters who never stepped foot here, were never dared a breath, and never made a peep, except you envisioning monsters at the peephole and decided not to open the door because of colors, tribes, and political folklore. Ban me instead. I've got more horrific historical stories than all of your boogeyman combined. If I were you, I'd fear what was written in your own bloodline. Swords that slain, expeditions bought with bone, sugar trades that sent slaves to their graves. Now, if I were you, I'd ban myself. And the mercilessness you harbor inside, ban your ignorance and illogical, pathological perception of the other, and submit yourself to all of your lies. If not in this life, the ban will be lifted. Oh, it will be lifted in one major trial. Thank you.